In the heart of a bustling city, amidst the cacophony of life's demands and desires, there existed a quaint little jewelry shop, tucked away in a corner, its windows adorned with sparkling displays. It beckoned passersby with the promise of beauty and significance. Within the confines of this cherished establishment, an exquisite ruby necklace lay nestled in a velvet-lined case, its crimson hue radiating warmth and allure. For generations, this necklace had been passed down through a lineage of strong, resilient women, each adding their own chapter to its story. The tale began with Isabella, a young bride whose eyes sparkled with excitement as her groom presented her with the ruby necklace on their wedding day. Joys and sorrows of Isabella's life, birthdays celebrated with laughter, and tears shed in moments of grief. Through it all, the ruby gleamed as a reminder that love endures through every trial. But it was during a fateful journey to distant lands that the true story of the ruby necklace was revealed. In a remote village nestled amidst towering mountains, Isabella encountered a wise old woman who spoke of the ruby's ancient magic.
According to local lore, the ruby possessed the ability to heal wounded hearts and mend broken spirits. It was said that those who wore the necklace would be blessed with love, joy, and prosperity.
As Isabella sat enraptured by the old woman's words, she felt a sense of wonder wash over her. Here was a tale woven with threads of ancient wisdom, each word dripping with the weight of centuries of belief and tradition. The old woman spoke of rubies as more than just gemstones. They were talismans of power, symbols of protection, and vessels of divine energy.
Throughout recorded time, rubies had been revered for their potent protective properties, believed to safeguard their wearers from harm and evil.
Isabella listened intently as the old woman recounted tales of antiquity.
In the Middle Ages, rubies were thought to hold the key to victory in all circumstances, offering special protections against maladies and danger. Sorcerers and magicians wielded ruby amulets as shields against malevolent spirits, harnessing the gemstone's mystical energy for their own purposes.
But it was the stories of ancient Burmese warriors that truly captivated Isabella's imagination. Rubies, revered for their supposed invincibility on the battlefield, were inserted under the skin to ward off spears, swords, and bullets.
They buried rubies under the foundations of buildings for protection against evil spirits.
As the old woman spoke, Isabella felt a newfound respect for the gemstone resting against her skin.
In sacred traditions across cultures, rubies held a place of honor, from engraved images of the Buddha to Islamic tales of Atlas, carrying the earth on his shoulders atop a large ruby. The gemstone was steeped in symbolism and significance. The ruby symbolized the divine sacrifice of Christ on the cross, its deep hue reminiscent of the blood shed for humanity's salvation.
Isabella couldn't help but recall biblical accounts of the gem-encrusted breastplate of the high priest of Israel, where a ruby shone among the precious stones. Intrigued by the woman's words, Isabella returned home with all this knowledge, and so the ruby necklace became more than just a piece of fine jewelry. It became a symbol of hope and renewal, a beacon of light in a world fraught with darkness. Evenings around the crackling fire held a special magic for Isabella, as the flames danced and flickered, casting a warm glow over the room. She would gather her loved ones close and weave the tale of the ruby necklace. With the ruby necklace cradled in her hands, Isabella's voice would take on a gentle cadence, drawing her listeners into a world of ancient wisdom and timeless tradition. She would speak of the ruby's journey through generations. As the fire crackled and popped, Isabella would recount the stories she had heard, the tales of rubies as talismans of power and protection, revered by warriors and sorcerers alike. She would speak of the ancient beliefs and customs surrounding rubies, from their use in battle to their role in sacred rituals and ceremonies. With each word, Isabella would infuse the story with her own sense of wonder and reverence, honoring the legacy that had been passed down to her, and as the night wore on, her listeners would hang on her every word, captivated by the magic of the ruby necklace and the stories it held. When Isabella's daughter, Sophia, came of age, the necklace was passed down to her, carrying with it the legacy of her mother's love. With each wearing, Sophia felt a connection to the past, a sense of belonging that transcended generations. Today, as the ruby necklace graces the neck of yet another generation, its significance remains unchanged. It continues to embody the timeless bond of love and the enduring strength of the human spirit, proving that sometimes the most precious treasures are those steeped in significance. Sophie started asking questions about her ruby necklace, and this is the information she gathered. What is a ruby?
Ruby gemstones are a variety of the mineral corundum. More specifically, they are the red variety, which is colored by chromium. Other colors of corundum are classified as sapphire. The word ruby comes from the Latin word rubor for the red hue. All rubies are red, yet they can have orange, pink, or purple tints.
How are rubies made?
Rubies form deep underground where it's super hot and pressurized. When oxygen and aluminum atoms are squished together, they make a rock called corundum. Add some chromium to the mix, and you've got yourself a ruby. Sometimes, if there's also ferric iron around, the ruby might have a cool orange or pink tint to it.
Where are rubies found in the world?
The best rubies come from Burma, Myanmar. But you can find them in other places too. They're mined in places like Afghanistan, Australia, Cambodia, India, Madagascar, Malawi, Mozambique, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Tanzania, Thailand, the United States, and Vietnam.
How hard are rubies?
Rubies are tough, ranking 9 on the Mohs scale. Just one step below diamonds. That means they're super durable. But here's a fun fact: even though rubies are tough, sometimes the chromium in them can make little cracks. It's kind of like how a tough guy might have a soft spot. Despite that, when rubies grow big and crystal clear, they can be even more valuable than diamonds.
How rare are rubies?
Rubies are like rare treasures in the gemstone world. The rarest ones are found in Myanmar, because they're super high quality and have the most amazing colors. Finding good quality rubies that are bigger than 1 carat is like finding a needle in a haystack.
What are rubies used for?
Rubies are often used to make stunning jewelry, but they're also used in many other things. Both natural and man-made rubies are super strong and glow red, so they're used in watches, medical tools, lasers, and more.
How big is the largest ruby?
The current title holder of the largest ruby is the 1:5 West ruby. This unpolished rough-cut gemstone weighs 8.2 pounds, that is a whopping 18,696 carats.
She also found out that ruby is the birthstone for July. It's also the traditional gift for 15th and 40th wedding anniversaries. So this is our story about rubies. Subscribe for more stories about fascinating gemstones.